This truck wasn't made for working, saving gas, or being logical. The Ram TRX, the 2027 model, was made to be the most absurd pickup truck on the market. And I'm going to tell you why, and some things and facts that no one has told you about the new Ram TRX. Welcome. And there's no other way to start here than by talking about the engine. Of course, we're going to cover other aspects of the truck, but the engine is what sets the #1 goal for which it was created. I already told you, it wasn't created to be logical or to work or anything like that, no. This was created with the main goal of destroying the Raptor, the Ford Raptor, and specifically the top contender that Ford later released, which was the Raptor R with 720 horsepower. Well, this one, the Ram TRX from 2027, because it was absent. Yes, they had pulled it out because of emissions, because of decisions that made it seem like it was going to be hybrid. Some people said no, that they were going to make it electric. No, they didn't make that crazy move. They reconsidered and made it even more powerful. But they didn't just add 2 or 3 extra horses. They gave it 777 horsepower. 777 horsepower for the new Ram TRX 2027. Everything ends in 7 because that way it'll be easier to remember how much power it has. 680 pound-feet of torque, push, the push you need to abuse it, to take it off-road. This one is obviously much heavier than the RHO. Another fact that many people don't know. The RHO is lighter. It has the inline-6 engine, meaning 6 cylinders. This one, of course, this one is going to cost you much more. This one has the Hemi V8, and the driving dynamics are going to be different. This one is for going in a straight line at full speed, for going and overcoming the challenges of a desert, for pushing a desert to its limits with Baja mode, and those 777 horsepower are going to be very useful in those driving conditions. Absurd truck? Of course, V8 Hemi engine. Like I told you, and it has a 10-speed automatic transmission. Another important number to keep in mind, which many people don't know, is how wide this is compared to a regular Ram 1500. And here we have several Ram 1500s actually. Look, there's the RHO, there's the Tucson, there's the Power Wagon. But anyway, this one in particular, compared to the regular Ram 1500, you can't even compare them. We're talking about it being wider, 6 inches, it's 6 inches. And in the metric system, I'll put the number there for those who ask me. In centimeters, 6 inches wider than a Ram 1500, that gives it a more imposing presence. Another important fact is the speed from 0 to 60 miles per hour, or 0 to 97 kilometers per hour in a truck as heavy as this one. In a truck with a Hemi V8, in a truck with these dimensions, achieving 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds is something impressive, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, 3.5 seconds, we're talking about the level of a Porsche, a Grand Touring. 3, I mean, something that's unthinkable for a pickup truck. But nowadays, with what they've done in this Ram TRX, whose goal is to destroy the Ford Raptor, in 3.5 seconds, it eats the Ford Raptor alive. How about that? Let's see what the Ford Raptor comes out with later on, to see if it can match that. And in the visual part of the front, of course, it doesn't keep the DNA of the Ram TRX that they made starting in 2025, but they've made some modifications to it. And on the front grille, for example, we'll find that the Ram comes in this orange color, which is quite nice. The orange code has the orange color with good functionality. Here is the Ram front camera. The fabric itself of the front grille has been changed a bit, but without losing that identity. And street and racing technology, because the official name of the Ram TRX 2027 is Ram 1500 Street and Racing Technology TRX, which you might not have known. The recovery hook's in red, with the contrast in black. This looks killer, I love it. You have your sensors, good functionality, up here, adaptive cruise control, and very good protection, because obviously it's made for you to take it out to the desert. You have good metal protection there, and to be able to take it off-road or to the desert, you're going to need good tires, good wheels. These have a beadlock. These are 18-inch rims. The height is very important. Look, 37 inches tall. That's what comes standard on the Ram TRX. And look at the travel you have here. Good distance for the wheel travel, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it in some all-terrain tires with an all-terrain tread. Good travel, but especially in there. Look, the suspension. What an impressive suspension setup. There you can see Bilstein Blackhawk shock absorbers. Yes, Blackhawk E2. It uses the second generation of these active shock absorbers. They feature dual electronic proportional valves to independently adjust compression and rebound in milliseconds, and it offers up to 13 inches of suspension travel. Impressive. All that data that many people don't talk about. Because of course, you need really good articulation. And to absorb those imperfections that uneven roads present to you. The ones in the desert, all those undulations, you need a suspension setup, and the Ram TRX has it and then some. Let's keep going. Because there are already so many things to show about this truck. In the previous video, I made a mistake, and I want to correct it. The color is not code orange. It's not the orange code I mentioned before. This is called Bloodshot Night Edition. Bloodshot Night Edition. This color, which is kind of an orange, some people see it as red or reddish. This color is unique and comes with a special graphics package. It's not the only color available, but it will cost more. Check out the graphics and what they represent. I mean, there are several things going on here. This is a graphics package that I think gives the Ram TRX a really aggressive identity. Very off-road, complemented by this step. Now, this is a unit that is not for production. It's a display unit, but it's obviously going to have its anti-slip surface. Black handles, contrasting with this Bloodshot Night Edition. It looks spectacular. Let me know in the comments how much you like this color. I mean, because it's a color that, when you're on the road, it's going to stand out. People will see you in this truck and say, wow, that's a Ram TRX. And the person driving it, let me see who's driving it. I mean, it really draws a lot of attention. It really stands out. This is it. Also, look at the hood. The hood is also black. 6.2 liters supercharged. Supercharger. That's very important. About the 6.2-liter engine I mentioned earlier, but they've also created art here on the hood. The design with the stripe, let's say, in the same color as the body, which breaks up the black design. More functionality here in this part, with the 3 lights, the marker lights. And good functionality here for extraction, air intakes, also complemented to help cool that Hemi V8, which is going to need it. Let's take a look at the interior. But before that, if you're enjoying the video, give it a like. For everyone interested in a Ram TRX, which is going to be well over $100,000, so the video can reach them. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your subscription from the bottom of my heart. But this way, we also help people get guidance, not just about the Ram TRX, but about all automotive content. I'll be showing this on my channel, so please subscribe and welcome. Thanks a lot for the support. Let's get inside this impressive Ram TRX. It's a real beauty. I'll close up here to block the sound. Where should we begin? Let's start here with the double glove compartment. Unlike the Ram RHO, which has a passenger screen that's hidden from the driver, the Ram TRX doesn't have this feature. Instead, it just has a glove compartment. You have the TRX embroidery here, in the same color as the body. Two-tone here, also for the seats. Perforated leather surface. The screen. This screen itself. No, it doesn't change compared to the previous generation of the Ram TRX, even though it comes with many changes in terms of power and design. Some modifications. This part of the screen, the connectivity, yes, it improves a bit. The processor response is a bit better, but it's the same screen you'll find, for example, in a Ram 1500 RHO. You have your 4x4 controls here. You have the drive modes in this color too. Here, red. I really like it. In the bloodshot tone, and you have your ignition in red. Let's show more over here, the instrument cluster. Very similar to the one in the Ram RHO. The steering wheel, yes, it has stitching in the same color as the body. All these are details that make the Ram TRX a totally different truck. Your 4x4 controls and your launch control, the one that lets you go from 0 to 60 miles in 3.5 seconds. Over here you have wireless charging for your phone, double. The center console itself stays very similar to the other Ram products, like the Ram 1500, the tungsten, the RHO connections here, USB-C, USB-A, the auxiliary. And over here, you have a bit more storage. The shifter is in the middle, where it should be. Here you have the TRX inscription in Alcantara, and you have good storage space. One thing you won't have here is the panoramic sunroof. You won't have it in this edition of the Ram TRX, and let's go. For the rear seats, from what I see here, there's a lot of space. Look at all the legroom you have in the Ram TRX. Very good ventilation, USB-C connections, also regular USB-A, heating and ventilation for the seats, and a regular power outlet. You have a different tone here in this part of the cup holders. The identity is still maintained, let's say, in terms of textures on the rear seats. And also you have this huge one, armrest, which also serves as a cup holder. Your speakers, this will have the Harman ampersand Kardon audio system, which is a premium system, and you have them here practically above your passengers' heads. And well, If you have over $100,000 to buy it, you're going to like it a lot. The space, the passengers you bring here or your family, will be very happy back here. And here we see, in the rear part, this plaque that says, "It's back." Obviously, it's a commemorative plaque because the Ram TRX has returned. They've added the logo. There, the TRX logo, looking very aggressive, with the name that's going to be Ram 1500 Street and Racing Technology TRX. It's back because it's returning. But when will you be able to buy it? This is a very important question that many people are asking because they're eager to buy it. Well, the 2027 model is not yet at the dealers at the time of recording this video. It hasn't arrived at the dealerships yet. When will it arrive? After the second half of 2026. We're in April, so after June or July, I estimate that the first units of the Ram TRX could start arriving. So you can hurry, make your reservation, and buy your Ram TRX. And well, in this part, obviously you'll have the Ram symbol, the connections for the trailer, the characteristic texture of the rear bumper, your hooks or recovery points, and the dual exhaust pipes, where here, yes, you're going to hear that thunderous sound that the V8 makes and that many people prefer V8 than the inline six-cylinder that the RHO offers you. And it's not just about the sound, but also that playful pleasure it gives you when you accelerate. The deep growl of a V8. That's what it produces in terms of sensations. This Ram TRX is going to have that, and then some. Very well. And from New York, as we're reaching the end, I want to know your opinion. What do you think about this Ram TRX? It far surpasses the Raptor R by a landslide. Let me know your opinion down in the comments. Which one do you like in terms of design? Which one do you like more? The Raptor R, the regular Ford Raptor, or this Ram TRX? Let me know down there. Your opinion is important. And also, the suggestions and ideas you give me in the comments section, I read them. And from there, I also get a lot of inspiration for videos. So, if there's something you'd like to see, if you'd like to watch in my videos, any part of the content that you think could be interesting, let me know. I listen, I watch, and I read those comments carefully. Alright, rate it from 1 to 10. What did you think of the Ram TRX? For now, I'll say goodbye. I'm going to leave a video here that's also really good, and I appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Greetings to all my followers, and I'll be waiting for you and see you in the next video. Take care.